Good morning and welcome back to the contact record for part 2 of going through contacts. So I'm going to pick out our demo client here, Jennifer Smith. Click through on that. And we're going to be looking at milestones in the data you need to capture for that. Just one thing I would like to point out on the way down the screen, these little arrows here can be used to hide the details of subsections within the database record. So we can just click on that and it folds up like that, and you can pop it down again. There's contact details are still open. The contact information and attendance are both closed off. It makes it easier to get up and down the page. And after your initial work, if you've filled in most of the contact details, you don't need to see that information on a regular basis. You've got a kind of summary up here. Then you can fold down the contact details as well and just work in here, and it's much closer to the top of the page. So just a little tip to make your life a little easier. So we start off with, has this person started the steps program? It says Apex on the screen, but it's really, has the person started steps? So it's a tick box. You just double click or triple click and tick the little box, and then move on to the start one. And when did they start with doing steps? So we've got a drop down box. We'll just pick a date, 2nd of May 2018. Add any comments in here. And the comments are obviously useful. Jennifer wanted to start sooner, but illness in her family prevented this. It helps if you're a good typist. And then we click OK on that one, and there's the comment in there. Have you got the eligibility evidence? That's really vital for this to be valid. Again, it's a checkbox here for yes, leave blank for no. And has your manager specifically approved of this person starting? This raises a few eyebrows, but there's good reason for having this information in the database. So all you do is you put in your sort of the full name of your manager. So I'm going to put in this case Helen. I never remember how to spell her the middle part of her last name, so we'll click on there, and that's her name and it's tied into the data set. Initial ESF claim. At the moment, we'll continue with that. So has the claim been submitted? Yes. Initial claim made. What date was it? Put it a few days ago. And has it been received back? Chances are initial, at least the answer to that is no, because it'll be some weeks or months before it comes back in. Has the person got an ITA, or have they applied for an ITA? Let's say in this case, yes, they have. It's an important thing for them. The date, whatever the date the application actually went in, not just one you make up, unlike me. Was ITA secured? Yes. The secured date would be well, this is a demonstration, so we'll just pick the 30th of May. Has it been used, and what was the used by date? We'll leave these two blank at this stage, and you would come back once the person has consumed the ITA and fill in these fields appropriately. Now the next three sections, unfortunately I can't get little sort of sub-headlines in on the screen. Here is a limitation of Salesforce, but basically the next three sections are identical. The fields are exactly the same, milestones 1, 2, and 3. Now some people would call these 2, 3, and 4, with this first one 1, but in steps in the database they're demarked as 1, 2, and 3 at this point. Has the person started? Nice easy question. Help if I click the right field. Yes, they've started. What's the start date? We'll put it down as the 22nd. What activity are they doing? Well, I think the most common option is preparing action plan. I'm not involved with clients directly, but I gathered that was the top priority in there. and the PDM. Well, the PDM should be the same as up top. It doesn't have to be. We'll just check who the PDM is, and of course I haven't got one marked down in this field, so we'll do. I think I have an Ian Jones as an imaginary PDM. No, I don't. Oh, there we go. Oh, I do have. For some reason, oh, it's Ian Jones. Okay, so there's Ian Jones in there, and we'll scroll down here and find the field for the PDM. So Ian Jones. Make sure we've got the spelling right. There, up he comes down here. Staff member name under results, and click on the underline there, and that's it in. Has Jennifer completed milestone 1? Yes, she has. Completion date, again the dates are nonsense in this case. The evidence action plan is in paper file of kind and uploaded to Salesforce as an attachment. Okay. The PDM is saying yes, the person has finished, so it's the same thing again. Ian Jones. I keep misspelling Ian. And that goes into there. There's the ESF paperwork, which we've covered before. So it's basically yes, it's been submitted. The date has been submitted. Has the claim been received? Has the claim been received back? And is the paper file up to date? So we'll say yes to that question. That's quite important that you have the same information in the paper file as you do as best you can in Salesforce. So as the client progresses through, they can fill in. You can fill in milestone 2 and 3, and then we have the outcomes. Now the location of outcomes may move somewhat, but at this point, this is where it is. So outcomes date. Let's say, for argument's sake, it's the end of June. What soft outcomes? Oh, this is hard outcomes. Achieved full or part-time employment. That's the ideal outcome. Obviously, it does not happen in every case by any stretch of the imagination. And soft outcomes, did acupuncture. Let's see what we've got. Letter of disclosure, job applications, and so forth. There's a long list for you to choose from. These are important to record these accurately. And then again, this is just like a quick signature. It's a little repetitive if you're doing it all at one time, but if you're doing it as you progress with the client, it's not too bad. So it's just like you putting your signature on a document, and then we have the ECF claims again. So fairly straightforward. It only takes a few minutes to do. And at the very end, are we done with Jennifer? Has she done her work with us? So yes. What is the sign-off date? So we'll pop it into the beginning of July. Anything we want to say about Jennifer? Jennifer performed very well. And that's really the information that you need, completed just by you having had a word with your manager and her saying that yes, they're fine with that person being signed off. And we'll put this down to Helen like that. And that essentially is it. With one key thing you must remember at this point, to click on the save button. And that's Jennifer's milestone or steps record saved. Fairly complete at this point. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you find it helpful, and if you have any feedback, don't hesitate to let me know.